Hi, everybody. This is your weekly astrology forecast for what are the dates? July 23rd through the 30th. So this is the first full week. No, wait. July 24th through the 31st. So it's the first full week in Leo. We started Leo season just last week. A couple of interesting things happened this week, and the biggest one, I think, is this grand cross or grand square sitting in the middle of our zodiac wheel most of this week. Forming that, or a cornerstone of that, is the square between Uranus and Saturn, and that's going to sit with us until the end of this year. Ironically, not really ironically, actually, kind of beautifully, it ends around Christmas time in Capricorn season. And since this impacts Saturn, I think that that's perfect, almost harmony. But the other part of this square is the South Node and Mars, and Mercury. So when Mercury goes square to Uranus, you can expect that a lot of mechanical things or technological things are going to go kaput. They're just going to fail. They're just going to fail. Why? Because they were destined to fail, because they weren't working. So, for example, my son's car just broke over this weekend, and it's because it was old and it needs repairs, or it needs us to consider we have to move on. So those things that are brittle and were about to break, but we were holding on to them because they were comfortable, and even if they were uncomfortable, dealing with the discomfort of them was actually more comfortable than dealing with potentially new things, simply because that's that Saturnian energy, right? That Saturnian energy of, well, we can deal with the hardships, we just can't deal with the surprises. And Uranus is all about, no, I want surprises, and it's almost inspired by the hardships, right? I don't want to go through the same old drudging crap anymore. I want something new. I want something different. So that's the sort of philosophical argument. But as soon as Uranus squares Mercury, all of a sudden there's these actual malfunctions that are happening in our lives that are bringing to our attention that philosophical discussion, right? But it's old, and some things that are old we need to keep. If they were working, however, they would not be breaking. That's the point. And the real argument, I think, between Saturn and Uranus is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Just because some of it has to go doesn't mean all of it has to go. And that's the problem with Uranus, is it tends to let go of too much as it pushes for something new, and Saturn tends to hold on to too much as it insists upon the old. And so the conflict between the two could be very awe-inspiring and incite necessary changes hopefully without stupidity of getting rid of too much. But when Mercury joined that square, now there's more challenges to our day-to-day, and we're going to feel that. We're especially going to feel that because Mercury is, hold on, let me get this right. I'm trying to remember the charts. I don't have the charts in front of me. Mercury this week is square to Mars. And that square to Mars is a real son of a bitch, because what it does is it almost makes us not be able to figure out the necessary actions that we have to take, or be so impetuous and so insistent that we have to take action. We don't think about things. We don't think things through. So we could actually be jumping on what ends up breaking things. So it's really, really important this week for you to take a couple of breaths before you make any decisions. Really kind of like go over things and look for all of your options. Don't just jump at the first one, which you will feel impelled to do. And then we also have the challenge of Venus. And Venus is square to Jupiter and then square to Chiron. And at one point, she's square to them both. which means that our sense of value and our sense of being able to grow and expand, especially in the way other people value us, seems to be really like it not good enough. It's almost like there's this feeling of just it's not good enough, or we're not good enough, or I'm not good enough, or I can't figure this stuff out and that must be because I'm not good enough, or I'm in this situation because I must not be good enough. Those kind of things those kind of thoughts in your head can come up a lot this week. So just be patient with you. I know how much we want change, and this is the secret to this week. Change is going to come this week by being patient with yourself and making decisions very slowly and pedantically, making sure that you do what the universe is challenging us to not do or not make easy, which is think things through and keep our standards high, maintain our standards. You know, that challenge with Saturn, between Uranus and Saturn, you know, are the standards high, or do we just think anything new is better? And it's not always better, right? We need to keep our standards high and be patient with ourselves. Be patient with ourselves, especially realizing that we are high quality and we are worth the wait. And those things that are right for us will show themselves to us if we keep looking for what's right instead of what's right in front of us and what we're just willing to settle for. Those will be the two biggest challenges this week. Another thing that I need to talk to you guys about this week is this new moon in Leo. And this new moon in Leo is surrounded. I mean, it's always conjunct the sun, and it's got Mercury there as well. I think the midheaven is there as well. So there's a lot going on in Leo. There's a stellium in Leo at this point. That's a lot of Leo energy. There's a lot of really powerful energy around this new moon. But what it can do is end up kind of making us more feel we're more pressured, feel that pressure of that grand square even more, because when you have that much confidence or that much need or understanding of what you desire or what you want, then there's always this sense of I want to do it now, right? I got to do it now. Or why aren't people seeing me now? And that's really what the moon in Leo is. People have to see me. I want them to see me. That's where it gets this sense of worth. Are people seeing me? Are people recognizing me? Now, around this new moon, I've been getting this a lot in my tarot card readings. So be sure to check out the weekly tarot card readings for last week, because they go over that, especially the Scorpio reading, the Leo reading, and the I believe it's the Aquarius reading. A lot of them are big time. So what was coming up a lot was this pattern of whatever was going on in the Aquarius new moon 6 months ago is coming to fruition, or a new scope of interest reemerging, or it's actually finally emerging during this Leo new moon. So check back to see what happened about 6 months ago, because there does seem to be this fulfillment of a cycle. You know, around the new moons, we welcome things in. I think now with the moon in Leo, we might actually get some attention that we have been looking for. We might actually make a breakthrough when it comes to something that has seemed to ignore us or always evade us in the past. So check that out, and check out if you can see, especially those of you who do a lot of the manifestations and stuff, see what you were doing, see what you were manifesting about 6 months ago. Check that out, because there is this almost fulfillment of that to escape or break through this stuckness that it just can't be stuck anymore. It just can't. It's like it's just not allowed. And by the very, very end of this week, we're going to start to see some lightening. The break between that square with Mars and Mercury and all of that craziness happening. It starts to break up a little bit, and Venus gets in a much nicer position. So there is a tension this week that really feels almost in some ways insistent. Like like the Twisted Sister song, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not going to take it anymore. There is a sense of something in particular we are just not going to take anymore, but the universe is not going to take it for us. On our behalf, the universe is refusing for this crap to continue even one more day. So big old breakthroughs by the end of the week. Then that manifestation is almost like, in some ways, you've already manifested what you're going to be manifesting over this new moon. You've already done it. And this is when you see it. So please do leave your comments below. Check back during the week to let me know how all this energy is impacting you. Check out the weekly zodiac readings over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. And also remember to subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell, because I do daily tarot card readings over here. And I'm also going to start doing the question and answer, live tarot question and answer sessions over here as well. I usually do it over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot. I might start to do it over here. So let me know what you think about that as well. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in the videos. Have a great week.